So somebody said to me the other day, Steve Jobs was obviously a great leader because of what he accomplished, but he was very autocratic, he was a very authoritarian person, and not the traditional leader that gets talked about or taught in business schools. And I would agree with that. You know, Steve Jobs had a very authoritarian style about him because he was very passionate about what he did. But he could get away with that, you know, for wanting to put it a better way, because he was a genius. I'm not saying all geniuses are allowed to be horrible to people or be, you know, authoritarian. I'm just saying that he was so visionary, he was so clear about how he wanted things to go, that he, you know, people would pull along in his wake. Now, there's a lot of people who were upset, you know, he treated them badly and he used them and so on and so forth. But you know, I've talked to people who knew him, worked with him, and you know, people have said that yes, he was like that, but it was like being with somebody who is just has a huge amount of drive, and if you want to be part of the journey, you went along with it. I also, you know, from reading the book that Isaacson did on him, and from what I hear, he picked 18 players, and 18 players generally these are people who take responsibility for their own motivation. And so they don't look to someone else to give them motivation and all the rest of it. So eight players will respond well to somebody that is so powerful and so clear about what they're wanting to achieve, and they're not going to get upset as easily. So I think there's a balance there, and I think using Steve Jobs as an example to disprove all management theory, I think is a pretty narrow thing to be doing, really. But I still maintain there's a lot to be learned from what's, you know, the way Steve Jobs was. And you know, we talk about having a vision and having that sort of clarity and having that sort of focus on things. You know, he was so ultra good at that there was other areas that he maybe not be very good at, but that counterbalanced it, for want of a better way of putting it. So I think we just need to keep those sort of comments into perspective a little bit.